Lionel Butler coming in tonight about 240 pounds. He comes in riding the crest of a 9-fight winning streak, 9 straight knockouts. A gentleman who's really making his way up the rankings, currently ranked number 14 by the WBC, and he'll be taking on Craig Payne, who will come in tonight at 6'2", 290, but a guy who insists that he carries it better than most people would at 290. And we saw him, work out a little bit here earlier tonight. He looks like he's got a lot of the good skills, probably a lot of the skills he demonstrated when he was an amateur back in the middle 80s, when he was knocking out the likes of Mike Tyson and Teofilio Stevenson, but we'll see if he's retained any of that.
Nobody can convince me, Hugh, that a guy that weighs 290 pounds is in condition, and no matter what he says about training.
But who's big enough to tell him that, Barry?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to argue with him. As the fella says, I'd rather fight him than feed him, but I don't know whether I'd rather do either.
There is a look at Craig Payne, age 31. He gets kidded a lot about his weight, and he talked with us about his weight problem earlier today at the weigh-in at the gym.
Right now I'm fighting a weight problem I picked up. I always had a weight problem. I come from a big family. I'm a big man. And I'm always fighting a weight problem. So I feel one more year I could weigh in, they said 290, but 282. Another 40 pounds is the hardest. The last part is the hardest to get off. I came back, when I started back a year ago, I was 372. I'm down, and I got 40 more pounds to get off. So I'm proud of myself. I'm happy. I've been fighting. I refuse to just lay off and get the weight off and then start fighting. I figured I'd come back, fight the weight off, and that's what I'm doing. I love for people to tell me I can't do something. If you tell me I can't walk out that wall, I'll walk through that wall for you. I love for people to tell me. I give them people half the credit for what I do, because I love people to tell me you're too big, you can't make it back, you can't do this, you can't do that. Keep telling me that. I love for people to tell me that. Everybody calls me a pipe dreamer. I tell them now, look down that pipe, it's full of reality.
There's a look at the gentleman who would try to stop the 9-fight winning streak of Lionel Butler tonight. That is Craig Payne by way of Livonia, Michigan, just outside Detroit. A very, very big man who insists he is a better athlete than people give him credit for, just because he's just a tad overweight. No, he's about 40 pounds, as he said. He wants to get down about 240, 245. He says he is ready to take on Lionel Butler tonight, but instead of just trying to work off the weight in the sauna, he's going to fight his weight down to, we said, 240, 245. Entering the ring right now is 10 Goose Boxing's Lionel Butler. Lionel Butler's age right now 25 years, and he talked earlier today, told us how he actually got started in this sport of boxing.
Okay, well, I started boxing when I was incarcerated. I got incarcerated 87 sometimes, and started doing time. And while I was locked up, I had a lot of aggression. I started fights, and I stayed in trouble in the inside institution, so I stayed on lockdown. So the warden asked me, did I want to be on a boxing team? I was like, well, sure, because I didn't go on work detail or anything like that, because if I was going to be locked up, I wasn't going to do any work, Why should I? For what, So he gave me a chance of being on his boxing team. I got out and had 2 fights and won them both, and won me a couple of trophies while I was in there. When I got out, I continued to pursue it, but I started the wrong way because I didn't quite know what was happening in boxing professionally. All I knew was that I wanted to fight. So I hooked up with this guy named Jimbo Stevenson in Louisiana, in Bogalusa, Louisiana, and I turned pro against Philip Jackson. He's well known now in the boxing circuit. And I lost a 4-round split decision, which I think I won, and so does a lot of other people think I won. And my career continued to go like that, And this guy just was getting me fights. I fought Riddick Bowe, my second pro fight. It was a $2,500 fight, a 4-rounder, and the guy told me for $1,500. I never really doubted myself. There was times that I have said that no, I can't really do it. I'm just pitching my hand in at it and just gonna try to go as far as I can go. I can't really do it because I don't have what it takes. What I mean by that, financially, I didn't have the money to set myself up in boxing. And, I didn't have a trainer or anything, just before I got the Gooses. And and Lee Michaels, and but now, no, I never think of negative thoughts about how far I can go. I mean, it's endless. I mean, there's no limit. That's the way I see it to how far I can go.
There's a look at Lionel Butler as he comes in, looking a little bit like Mike Tyson. Tyson would come in with the towel draped over and a cap and not a lot of frills, no bangles, no beads.
Exactly. He is in stature very similar to Tyson. Slightly bigger, slightly bulkier, but looks very much physique-wise like Tyson.
We are now ready for our main event and the introduction. There's a look at Craig Payne. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is going to take over the show.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us across the nation on Prime Network, we welcome you as Al Goosen Promotions presents a 10-Goose Boxing main event, a heavyweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. The chairman is William Eastman, Commissioner in attendance Jerry Nathanson, Assistant Chief Inspector Rob Lynch, and at this time I introduce to you the referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions shortly, Ernie Swanks. All right, fans, here we go. This is it, the main event of the evening. The big men of the sport, heavyweights in action, 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing orange trunks with blue lettering, fighting out of the great city of Los Angeles, California, as he is representing the 10 Goose Boxing Club in North Hollywood. He weighed in at 232 pounds with a record of 15 wins and 10 losses. He has 10 wins by way of knockout. Introducing Lionel Butler. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round heavyweight main event, he is wearing red and black trunks and fighting out of Livonia, Michigan. He weighed in at 291 pounds. His record includes 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 4 wins by way of knockout. Introducing a fighter they call Craig Tiger Payne. Once again, here's the referee in charge, Ernie Swanks.
Okay, both you gentlemen were given instruction in the dressing room. Are there any questions from the red corner? Any questions from the blue corner? If there are no questions, touch gloves. Let's go to work.
In the tail of the tape, the obvious sign is the huge difference in weight here, and in reach as well for Payne. But I don't think that's going to be lasting long, and I'm sure that Butler will nullify that with his power inside. Let's wait and see.
Our main event scheduled for 10, the heavyweights, and the emphasis on the word heavy when you talk about Craig Payne is Lionel Butler comes out very quickly. Craig Payne walking in today at 291. He'd hoped to come in about 280, 283. As we said, he's fought as high as 370. But we do not feel that it's a kind of weight that can be used effectively in the ring. Is Lionel Butler already on the attack?
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, nobody will convince me that fighting at that type of weight is good, is healthy. The guy has got so much more strain on his heart and his cardiovascular system, and I know that Butler is noted for his good body punching. So when he whacks him a couple of times around the old bread basket,
and that's quite a bread basket, Barry.
Certainly is. You couldn't miss it if you tried. But he's got quick hands, Payne, and you know he's not going to be easy to get out of there. We know that he's got a good chin. He hasn't been knocked out before. So
recently won 12 rounds with Pinklon Thomas for the World Boxing Federation title, losing a decision which he contests that he did win, but 12 rounds with the former champion. Pinklon, not the fighter he was in the middle 80s, but still out there swinging it. Coming off a 5th round knockout of Tony Willis back on February 23rd here in California. Goosen stable, 10 Goose, has been looking for a heavyweight like Lionel Butler. They've handled the lighter weights, the Ruelas brothers, the Michael Nunn, and some other very good fighters, but they've never had a true heavyweight contender. Rocky Papelli is certainly somebody they're handling, but doesn't appear to have the talent to make any noise. This gentleman could make some noise in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, he certainly, I mean, if you look at the current crop of heavyweights, you know, the pathetic performance with Michael Dokes against Riddick Bowe, you know, you look around with Jesse Ferguson having beaten Ray Mercer, you've got to say this guy is one of the best heavyweights around at the moment. And if he can look good and look impressive tonight, you've got to say that he's in line for a crack at the title in the not too distant future.
Yeah, the biggest thing you see in the heavyweight division is unfortunately the stalemate at top, because nobody really wants to fight anybody and risk their opportunity at a title shot with either Lennox Lewis or Riddick Bowe. So, you know, inside 6 or 7 rankings, inside number 6 or 7, there's not going to be a lot of moving and shaking. So a guy like Butler staying busy with some good opponents, and he's certainly upgraded his opponents the past couple of years, he'll be able to probably make some noise and maybe get a shot. We're inside 10 seconds on round number 1. We'll continue our main event from Tony Longval's. Welcome back, Humalay ringside on Prime Championship Boxing, along with former featherweight champion Barry McGuigan. Round number 2 of our main event. The heavyweights coming at you in the orange. It is Lionel Butler. In the, I guess, Tiger. It's his nickname, Craig Tiger Payne. In from Livonia, a big left hook, rocks Payne.
Yeah, I mean, Butler, if I was his, I'd just walk straight in there and bang away at the solar plexus. You know, you can't miss that. Just whack away there. Don't worry too much about the head. Just wing away, get those shots on.
Any hope of Payne working with that jab to keep Lionel Butler off? Well, he's got the same demeanor as a Mike Tyson. He comes in similar build, kind of the same attitude, at least in the ring. Just a real charm outside the ring talking to him. But got that scowl, that Mike Tyson scowl.
He's just loading up there on those shots too. He's very like Tyson when he gets close. He just wants to rip the guy in two. Those shots in close are very solid and very hard.
Craig Payne coming up with a left hook.
It's a right uppercut, left hook combination.
Getting some people's attention here at ringside. I tell you, it's a guy you don't want laying on you in between, you know,
that's for sure.
combinations. We do have our safety belts on here at ringside. Should Craig Payne go down? Lionel Butler being very patient. I think he's licking his chops and trying to get some body shots in, but he has been patient in the first round and a half.
Yeah, Butler should just get him off and turn him around and then just rip in those shots. He's put that left hook into the body there. I mean, Payne is really feeling those body shots. He looked a bit disturbed looking going back to the corner at the end of the first round. Those shots are really hurting him and ripping him up on the inside.
Bernie Swanks is your...
Butler, he's got such power in his...
Yeah, he really does.
Massive power.
When he turned pro, he was fighting between 202 and 212. He's now coming in tonight about 230, 231. So I think he probably has found his most powerful weight, and wonder if it's not too much that he still can get around. He said he's running a lot. He told us this morning he's staying in good shape, and the Goosens have been often very tough on their fighters in the training area. The Joe and Greg working with Lionel Butler.
Yeah, well, with a big guy like Butler, you know, you can give him plenty of work and it won't hurt him too much. So, you know, work him hard in the gym. You know, obviously running, he's got to be careful because he's a very heavy guy.
Inside 20 seconds of round number 2, it's Lionel Butler and Craig Payne. And Craig Payne is still out there sticking out a jab and now trying to get that right hand in there.
Yeah, the 2 good right hands there. He's letting us know he's still here. But Butler in this round really hurt him. Really solid punches, and he's just walking through those.
Butler trying to, as you said, walk through some punches there toward the end of round number 2. There's a look at Lionel Butler in his corner. Of course, Greg and Goosen is giving the instructions. Joe also works with him. Greg, a former Major League Baseball player. 10 Goose boxing. Boxing pretty much runs the show here at Tony Longval's Country Club. Action, round number 2, Barry.
Yeah, some good action. Payne landed some particular good right hand. Look at that, right down the pipe there, you know. And Butler can't stand in the way of those. Those are really good shots. He landed another one near the end of the round too. So he's going to try and get rid of this guy.
Round number 3, our main event, scheduled for 10 rounds. And Lionel Butler getting a little bit of resistance there in round number 2 and looked a little bit perturbed toward the latter portion of that round.
He can't afford to sort of fall into a sort of a rough sort of mauling match with Craig Payne. Look at the size of him. He's just mauling him on the inside. He's going to tire you out, as you said. He's got quick hands to his Payne, so that right hand down the pipe, he's got to be careful of that. That's a good attack from Butler. That's better stuff from him. He's just got to let his shots go and then step to the side and let him go again. Change his position, the position of his feet, and let his shots rip again. And talking about rip, Lionel Butler's shorts are ripped too.
Yes, they are. Taking a page from Riddick Bowe, who, by the way, he fought in his second fight as a professional. He lost a second-round knockout in his second professional fight back in 1989. So Lionel Butler has not had an easy time of it, losing his first 2 fights as a professional, but has now come back rather nicely. He was, as we mentioned, 6-10 2 years ago, and has since ripped off 9 straight wins, all by knockout under the guidance, management, and training of the 10 Goose boxing crew.
Yeah, he's getting too close. He's nullifying his own work by getting too close to Payne. He should try and get his shots off, get a bit of leverage into them, get a bit of distance into his powerful right hands. He's just getting too close to Payne and taking the sting out of his good shots.
Lionel Butler fought 5 times in 1992, has already fought once here in 1993, and looking to add to the winning streak tonight. This would go up to double digits, number 10. And we mentioned before, ranked number 14 by the World Boxing Council. So once you get in that top 10, you certainly can position yourself for a shot. And currently the WBC title holder is Lennox Lewis. He will be fighting Tony Tucker here in the States, I believe, on May 8th. That should be an entertaining battle, although I think Tony Tucker is shot.
Yeah, Tony Tucker's seen better days. That's a bit of an understatement. And he'll be up for this one, and it's his last big chance, so he'll be in shape. But I happen to think Lewis is the best heavyweight on the planet, and I think he'll go on to prove that. And Butler's moving and bobbing and waving around. He can't hang his chin out like this with this guy that weighs almost 300 pounds. When he hits you on the chin, I'll tell you stay hit.
Craig Payne landed some shots, and Lionel Butler kind of coaxing him for more, but that could be dangerous. Payne does have some skills.
He's got quick hands for a big man, and you know, if he lays one on you.
Good action in round number 3. Butler going down.
Oh yeah.
And maybe a little south
Payne
of the border.
complaining about the shots.
And that's real south of the border. Butler going hard to the body right now.
Oh, taking over there just on the end of the round.
Some big shots at the end of round number 3, and Ernie Swanks didn't say anything.
Yes, Payne's corner complaining bitterly to the referee. But he's telling him, I'm in control here. Don't tell me what to do.
I think what Greg Goose is probably telling Lionel Butler is that Butler's fighting Payne's fighting.
Keep the pressure on the You understand? Just keep the pressure on. Don't get that distance. Keep those hands up each other so that sneaky ever has left of him. Don't sit there for his right hand like you did one time. Okay? You're starting to get loosened up now.
That was real south of the border. You got that one right, Hugh. And Payne had every right to complain.
Round number 4. Lionel Butler talking with Greg Goosen seemed to say that now it's time to loosen up, and what I have seen so far is that Lionel Butler is fighting at Craig Payne's pace as opposed to him forcing the action. He's a very action-oriented fighter, and Payne obviously slower, and it's been more Payne's pace.
He's inclined to sort of fall into that sort of pace of fight. And
This could
that
get real
rip in his
dangerous. There's a
shorts
rip.
are becoming worse, and Lionel Butler's shorts are his protective cup. And he's just, he's caught another long left hook. He can't afford to hang his chin out with this big guy. And he really he should be snapping into gear here and trying to get rid of this fella. He's running the risk of those big money fights up ahead if he hangs his chin out against.
Couple big right hands rocks Payne, but as we mentioned, although Payne looks horribly out of shape, he insisted this morning that he does carry this weight pretty naturally. He is just a big man, and thus far we're 4 rounds into this one. He has proved that obviously in pretty decent shape. And we also know one other thing, that we're going to have to get Lionel Butler some new shorts here. This is going to be rated X here in about 5 minutes. This will not be seen on the Family Channel. Inside, Payne trying to muscle Lionel Butler.
Yeah, again, he doesn't look sharp on the inside, Butler. He's just taking too long to decide where to throw his punches, and he's picking up a couple of shots along the way. He's just got to get off quicker.
Payne just sticking a pawing jab out there really doesn't do anything. It's just kind of more menacing than bothersome.
He's just trying to keep Butler off, and just sticking it out there and pawing it at him, as you say, waving it around. He looks like a combine harvester there, just sticking his hand out in front of him.
Having never seen Craig Payne fight as an amateur, knowing that he did defeat Teofilo Stevenson and also Mike Tyson, that must be a real shame for some people to see him in this kind of condition and at this level, because from everybody I talked to, that he was quite an impressive amateur.
Where it goes. Yeah, it puts pressure on a kid when he turns pro to live up to his amateur expectations, but there's no doubt that the guy is grotesquely overweight, and whilst he may have fast hands and he does at times look dangerous, it can't be good for his health and his general health. And,
going to the body very strongly now is Lionel Butler, and looks like Payne is really trying just to hold on here in round number 4, now coming up with some short left hooks and then trying to go to the body.
Oh, a good right hand from Butler. Shook Payne's legs right to the boots. That's Lionel Butler landed that beautiful right hand. Look at the way that Payne's legs shook. For the first time, he was badly shaken there just at the end of the round. Let's see, can Butler pick it up?
Looks like Butler does want to close shop here on the big guy, going big time to the body with hooks, not even looking to go upstairs, just going to a very ample belly.
Yeah, well, he should be doing that. There's no need to take unnecessary risks with this guy. Just get him out of there. Get in, close down the distance, and whack those shots away on his way and not getting too close.
Fatigue starting to maybe be a factor as well for Craig Payne. As we get a look at that tattoo on the back of his right shoulder, and that is one of a tiger. He says when he's inside the ring, that is like his cage, and he likes to prowl and attack. Not a bad accounting tonight. I think a lot of people thought that this would be a very, very easy night of work for Lionel Butler, but Craig Payne has accounted himself very nicely with some nice shots and some worrisome moments by the 10 Goose corner.
Yeah, he's landed his fair share of shots, and Lionel Butler has picked up a few shots along the way, and he's only in the last round or last minute and a half started to really hurt Craig Payne and take over. But again, he's fallen back into this sort of, good right hand.
He's loaded up with that right hand, and Butler has never been hard to hit. I mean, he is right in front of him, and if he could just load up on some shots, a couple clean shots.
Yeah, well, Lionel's no fancy Dan, and he's right there in front of you.
Craig Payne
is just chopping away here.
Showing some real firepower here in round number 5. Butler picking off a couple of those shots, but another shot well below the border there, and Bernie Swanks has not really said anything right now.
Well, it was right on the belt there. You're supposed to have your shorts up to your navel. We can't see his navel, so he's above the legal limit. So Butler's every right to hit him on the waistband.
There are some back in the truck who feel that Craig Payne hasn't seen his navel or belly button in 5 years, but we won't get into that. 5th round here, and Lionel Butler just trying to chop down this very large redwood. Once again, a low blow.
Very low indeed, and the referee's given him a warning, but he should have given him a bit of a more sterner warning than that. it's a bit of a lethargic performance from Butler. He should be better than this. He should be sharper.
Yeah, well, sometimes you fight up or down to your level of your competition. I think he came in maybe a little overconfident. He saw this guy at the weigh-in and said, you know, we're going to have this and go out and have an omelet or something. And right now, it's well into the fight. I thought at least the 10 Goose camp told us that Craig Payne came in for a little workout on Thursday of this past week and hit the heavy bag for like maybe a minute and a half and then left. So that kind of information
again from Butler, just on the bell here.
Now, once again, Craig Payne does not sit down between rounds, a la George Foreman. George Foreman says, if I sit down, I might not get up. That could be the case for Craig Payne, although he says that isn't the truth. Our next telecast here on Prime Championship Boxing will be April 16th, coming your way at 10 Eastern. Please tune in for more boxing here on Prime Championship Boxing. Craig Payne getting words of wisdom from John Susi working his corner. And there is Lionel Butler. On that shot right there, he does have a very strong resemblance to former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. Working the corner, as we said, round number 6. And Craig Payne still there, and Lionel Butler had probably maybe his best round in round number 5, really started to zero in on a lot of areas of the body, and you can't miss many of them.
Yeah, he finished round 5 very strongly, and for the first time shook Payne, but he hasn't been able to pick up on that. And if anything, Payne came back in the last round and looked the most impressive of the fight, and the crowd are getting a bit disenchanted with the whole thing.
Yeah, the crowd here, some very well-informed boxing fans here at Tony Longvall's Country Club, and they have seen Lionel fight a lot better against a lot better competition, so they're not real enthused about what has been kind of a fighting down to competition of Craig Payne. Lionel Butler may be playing around too much.
Yeah, Butler is fighting at Craig Payne's pace, and he's fallen into that trap. And it is easy with heavyweights for that to happen. He should try and snap himself out of it, because if he's going to hope to fight for a world title against the champions, he's going to have to be better than this.
25-year-old Lionel Butler fighting Craig Payne and ripped shorts right now. Doesn't need a cut man, he needs a seamstress there in his corner.
Yeah.
Nice left hook by Craig Payne.
At the moment's been done by Craig Payne, you're right.
He does get some nice shots in there. It's not the quickest pace fight. After watching that flyweight bout, this is like about, that was 78 RPM. This is about maybe 33.
Possibly. Maybe 23. Payne is coming back with his own few shots in this round. Butler has slowed the pace again. You know, we get sort of 5 seconds of an attack, and then he just hangs around and admires his good work. He's got to step the pace up. He's got to snap out of that sort of lethargic performance that we're seeing right now.
It's like Lionel Butler might be kind of taking it off this round as well. He is not really.
Yeah, he's taking a bit of a rest.
Craig Payne trying to keep him off with kind of some jabs and some lazy right hands, and then Lionel Butler going to the body. You know, Payne is shaking off a little ring rust here, Barry. I mean,
he was hurt in the last few rounds, and it looked like he was going to go down, but he's come back. He's proved that he is a very durable guy, and maybe what he said to us is true, that maybe he has been doing those miles on the road and working hard in the gym, because he's absorbed some good shots here, and he's still here.
Lionel Butler, as we said, his last 9 opponents have been stopped by knockout. We'll continue with our main event from Reseda, California. Stay with us. Bird's eye view on Prime Championship Boxing. We're in Reseda, California. This is our main event, heavyweights, and we have the emphasis on the word heavy. It's Lionel Butler rolling in tonight at 231, and Craig Payne coming in just a slight tad over that, 291, but he's still there in round number 7. And the scorecard, Barry, I think you'd have to have it like 5-1 for Butler.
Yeah, well, for the first time in the last round, Craig Payne started to throw a few punches and forced Lionel Butler to go back. But Butler's stepped the pace up again in this round, and he needs to, because this is not a good performance by him.
No, this will not help him in any way unless he turns this into a nice, spectacular knockout.
Yeah, he's not going to knock this guy over easy. If he can give this guy one credit, he can take a punch.
And if he does knock him over, we better check with Tony Longville if there is some earthquake insurance here at the country club.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Paul Soucy is the manager-trainer of Craig Payne, and thus far he's done a nice job of keeping his man in this fight. Nice overhand right, snaps back the head. And
that's better work from Butler. He's bobbing and weaving a bit now to get his torso moving. Throwing a couple of quick right hands, but he's really not doing enough work. He should be throwing more combinations instead of trying to load up in all of those big shots.
Your description before was good. He's fighting the Craig Payne's pace as opposed to Lionel Butler's pace. He just is fighting like a tired, overweight heavyweight.
Yeah, he's not taking control of this fight. He should be doing what he wants to do.
Round number 7, slowly paced after watching those flyweights, Miguel Martinez and Eduardo Ramirez go at it toe-to-toe for 10 frenetic rounds. These guys have had a little slower pace. At round number 7, and now
Butler's taking
Butler
on
some big shots right now.
Yeah.
He goes down and hits the thigh. That's a new shot.
It's good to see him. He's stepping up again now. He's whacking those shots in. Let's see, has he got the fitness to be able to...
We might want to hand him a chair here, Barry, just to finish this thing. He's hit Payne with some very, very solid shots.
Quick, hard punches.
Some blood from the nose of Craig Payne here in round number 7 inside 30 seconds. And once again, a left hook goes a little south of the border.
This is good work from Butler. He's picked the pace up and he's bloodied Payne's nose, and he looks a tired fighter now. But again, it's 10 seconds in the round. Looks like he's going to get through this one too.
Ernie Swanks trying to keep a close eye and trying to pull these two guys away. Good luck, Ernie. Round number 7 is in the books. We'll take... Ernie's a large referee. He can handle the large fighters. Here's a look at Lionel Butler. It's got to be a little frustrating here. Some nights you just don't have it. I mean, it's tough. Greg Goosen told me.
Got it? Right there. When his hands are over you, right there. Right this chin. Look at me, Lionel. You're right here. Keep banging with that. Bam, bam. And when he puts boom, right there. Just go from there to there. Keep on his ass, and you'll stop him. You understand? He's ready to go.
Yeah, that's right. He's ready to go, but he's just not punching enough.
Go off on him this round. Go off on him. He's ready to go. You want to give him the first 30 seconds, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like Craig Payne is about to throw in the towel. He's not happy with something. The referee's been called, or sorry, the doctor's been called by the referee.
Are they going to be stopping this?
Yeah, it looks very much like
It's
it.
Dr. Schwartz, I think.
Referee's called it off.
Paul Soucy. That's it. Wow. It is over. Lionel Butler, that will be, I believe, an 8th round knockout, technical knockout for Lionel Butler. He did get nailed a couple times there. I would never consider Craig Payne a quitter. He took some good shots. Lionel Butler getting the job done, not in spectacular fashion, but a W all the same. Runs his knockout streak now to 10 straight. There's the winner right there. He'll be upping his professional mark to 16-10. We have been told that possibly an elbow to the left eye of Craig Payne toward the end of round number 7 might have caused some real vision problems for that guy. They have the end swell. Paul Soucy does have the end swell, but this fight has been stopped by Dr. Schwartz at ringside. And if you can't see, you can't fight. Although you've tried it a couple times, Barry. You went in there.
Well, it's a rough and tough game. You've got to expect things like that to happen. His eye doesn't look like he's received a sharp blow in it, but I think it could be just the accumulation of punches over the last few rounds that has taken their toll.
There's a look at Lionel Butler. The crowd was not real enthused about the overall stoppage, but if the fighter doesn't feel he can go on and maybe be seriously injured, there could be some problems. All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. has things sorted out. We send it up to him for the official announcement as he goes and talks with Ernie Swanks about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 7 on advice of the corner. The ringside physician, Dr. Barry Schwartz, stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout, Lionel Butler.
Much to the chagrin of the crowd here, wanted some more action, I guess, in this main event.
This looks like what caused the eventual stoppage.
They roll
A jab from Lionel Butler's left elbow. So that terminated things.
We will take a timeout here from Reseda Country Club, or Tony Longvale's Country Club. More Prime Championship Boxing coming your way on Prime Network. Stay with us.